The sun, the true God. When something is true, it shows itself. Since the beginning of humanity, man has sought to understand the world he lives in addition to understanding its origins. One of the things that showed itself to man instantly, regardless of the region he inhabited, was the importance and power of the sun. The sun is the primordial source of life, the creator, maintainer, and destroyer. The man then, in a universal way, developed cultural cults to the sun, the moon, and the earth, and to the other planets. By making associations and deep study of the characteristics emanating from the sun, they identified it in most cultures as a masculine force, because it generates life, heat, and everything else, which is an active attribute, and therefore, masculine. The sun has since become the father of patriarchy, the living principle of sovereignty and patriarchal nature inherent in reality. Also with the use of astrology, they discovered that the sun had emanations of energies that influence the human personality. The sun was and is the most recognized deity in the world. Belief in solar deity is not a lie but a fact. The sun is a spiritual and physical being that creates, maintains, and destroys everything in our local universe, the solar system, and that is a fact, regardless of whether you follow it, worship it, or not. The recognition of solar power and its influence is the way forward. Recognition of the power of the sun has been limited by monotheism, which curiously arose from the cult of the sun, in the case of Atum, the solar disk in Egypt. Such recognition is somewhat dangerous to the current condition, as it would take the power of an abstract being and make it concrete, visible and detectable to everyone, which breaks the thinking of most current religions about God or gods. It is also dangerous because with such an understanding, there would finally be the understanding that it is the active, male, force that shapes the world. The male sex is only the physical manifestation of the active force, which carries out the creation, continuous development of life, as well as its cycles. The sun, with its light and heat, creates everything on Earth, from plants to clouds, the planet being dependent on it and not the other way around. The sun is the great sower, the one who creates and plants, and the earth is the one that develops such already sown seeds from the active element. In context, we have a dominant active principle and a passive principle that depends on the sun and interacts with it to give rise to life, climate, water, and everything else. The recognition of solar power leads to a total break with the matriarchal system, leaving the earth as a creature and not as a creator, as the egalitarian and metaphysical thinking of matriarchal religions and views thinks, and thus influences society. Clearly, the recognition of the sun's divinity is the key to understanding human nature that is patriarchal, hierarchical, tribalist, violent, and balanced, as well as the creation that is the world we live in and the cycles in which we pass recognition or not of that nature.